In this series so far, we've been focusing on the importance of working on your business as opposed to in your business and the role of thinking deep thoughts within that. We've talked about strategy, we've talked about tactics. Now we're into day-to-day operations, the most minuscule element overall, the most intensive element to focus on. So if the strategy is your art or your approach to things, tactics is the science of trying to figure out what's working and what's not working to do more of it or less of it, then the day-to-day operations is the machine that keeps your business running on a daily basis. And the most important part of thinking about the day-to-day operations can be just making minor tweaks, adjusting systems, which is more of, I would consider, just a regular role of the operator. But from this CEO high-level thinking about your business, the key thing to think about in day-to-day operations is how does the entire machine actually fit together? How do the different pieces come together? How does a customer progress through your machine, through your system? What's the touch point here, then there, and then the next step? How about an order? If a customer does say yes, how does that actually go through the delivery of that order? How do your employees deliver on that? What is your follow-up like? How about your service itself? What does that look like? So being able to track each of those pieces in the machine allows you to see the opportunities. From that very high forest for the trees view, you can see, well, in this case, this information bounces around a lot, and instead it could bypass and go right to here. We're wasting a lot of energy. So with looking at this deeper level, the day-to-day operations, there are a lot of opportunities that pop up. But the biggest and most important one is understanding as an owner how each of the gears and mechanisms move together. And to be honest, a business is way too complex to keep all of this just in your head. So what tends to work best is to capture information on paper as far as the variety of systems of how your employees do their work, the sales process, the customer journey, the employee roadmap for promotions. Getting that stuff out of your head onto paper is important, one, from an operational standpoint and systemizing things to make it run more smoothly. But two, is now that entire document becomes an abbreviated version of the system, and it's easier to see that bigger picture of how things flow and what happens. From this big picture, it becomes really helpful because now you can also understand more clearly, if I make a change way over here, what are the interdependencies in other areas of the business that will be affected by that? So when we look at the benefit of working on your business versus in your business and thinking at that higher level, we talked about strategy and tactics. On the day-to-day operations side, the biggest thing is having a clear grasp of how the machine itself actually operates and also identifying smaller opportunities for, again, systems, processes, and clarity that can give you a clearer picture of how things should all work together. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Best of luck. Keep on thinking. Bye.